Welcome back to the MHU football interview series. Today we have CJ. CJ, how you feeling today, man?
Pretty good. It's a beautiful day outside, so,
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here, man.
no problem.
All right. So why don't you just give us your position and where you're from?
So I'm a kicker, punter here at Mars Hill, and I'm from Greenville, Tennessee. I went to Greenville High School, so that's.
Awesome. So how did you end up playing football?
So actually I've played soccer pretty much all my life, and then high school football team needed a kicker. They came to the soccer team and were like, "Hey, does anyone want to try?" And kind of just fell in love with it from there. Just progressively got better, and then now I'm here.
What'd you play in soccer?
So I was a center defensive mid, so I played the six. Pretty much anywhere though on the field.
Yeah, nice. So you had a lot of conditioning.
Yeah, it's gone away, but I don't run as much as I do, or I used to. But it was fun.
What was that transition like, especially for the punting side? 'Cause it's completely different punting a soccer ball versus a football.
Definitely when I was playing both, there were some hardships, just because how you kind of contact the ball and kind of like your form throughout. A lot of kickings like up, you want height, you want distance, whereas soccer, like, you got to keep it low and drive it. So the transition was a little tough, but it kind of came naturally as I just kind of rolled into it.
Okay, awesome. So when did it feel like, so you switched to football or started playing football in high school, when did it feel like football was something that you might be able to do at the next level?
I guess senior year, COVID hit, but I was able to play my senior year of football, but not soccer. So that kind of switch was kind of what led me to go into football more. I had a couple more offers, a couple more looks. So it was really just kind of took my opportunity as it come, and I enjoyed both. I still play soccer every now and then. Don't tell Clifton that. But, it's just kind of what fit me best at the time.
Yeah. So you're starting to get offers for football and everything. What led you to Mars Hill?
My old high school football coach, Andy McCall, he played here, and he told me great things about it. Also, like, the community, Greenville, Tennessee is just about 45 minutes away from here. So far enough for me to feel like I was away from home, but if anything happens with family, I can get right back over the mountain, be with them. I've got a little sister, watch her grow up too. So, it would just felt like home.
So pretty easy transition then. It's a very similar area.
Yeah, very similar area. Grew up in the mountains, love being in the mountains. So it was really, an easy choice at the end of the day for me.
Cool. And so you get here, and this is something we ask all the guys. Was there, when you get on the field for the first time, whether it be practice or game, was there like an oh crap moment where it felt different than in high school?
Not necessarily. Like I said, when I came in, COVID was still a big thing. So there was a lot of, had a mask on, running around on the field. But lucky enough, Tanner Fox, Chase McPherson, I was with those guys. They brought me in. So it was a really comfortable transition. Also, I was able to get some time during my first year here with those spring games, that spring season we had. So it was a very comfortable transition from high school to college.
That's awesome.
I think.
Yeah, especially for a kicker or punter, because it's already like nerve-wracking
Yeah,
enough.
it's all on you, they say. So,
Sure.
But there's a lot of other things that go into it.
That actually brings me to my next question. So, like, punting and kicking is pretty unique. I don't think there's any other sport that has a position that's as specific as punting and kicking, at least for the amount of time you play, but how important each thing you do is. What is it like to, maybe you play in a game and you haven't been in multiple series, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, go do this really important thing. How do you handle that mentally?
Your swing. It's kind of like a golf swing. Like, you get out there, you get over the ball, and you hit it or kick it in my case. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It's not just the kick. I feel like when you look at kickers or special teams in general, you're like, oh, it's the kicker. But like I said, there's a lot of the snap, the hold, the process. You have people running, you got people blocking for you. So it's kind of a unit, and they have to work together just as good as you are a kicker. But, you get thrown into the fire, you got to execute. So I think mentally all the special teams here are ready to execute.
And if you're punting versus kicking, do you feel a little bit more control since you're actually the one receiving the snap and everything, or is it because it's a longer snap? You're like, I don't know.
I'd say for my case, I mean, the biggest control is obviously kickoff because that's just me. I
Sure.
put the ball on the tee and I go out there and I kick it and I know what I can do. And then it would go punt probably because it's just snap, and I trust our snapper here, Travis Shuford. Trust him to get over the ball and get it back there to me. And then field goal, of course, same level of comfort. Shuford over the ball. We're going to have Hunter Bridges, I believe, holding for us this year, and he's getting it down. He's a punter here as well. So he's picking it up pretty quick. We're getting it down and kicking them smooth.
Are the nerves the same between the two? Like, is it the same feeling when you go out, or they feel different?
I'd say they feel a little bit different. I mean, obviously, points are points. So when you're kicking for points, like that's a little extra, motivation to be like, okay, you need to make this. You go out for punt, of course, you don't want it to get blocked. You don't want anything ever to get blocked. But I'd say nerves-wise, probably field goal. But, I mean, if you're doing it, you trust your kick. It's, easy as no one's on the field.
Yeah, it's also that's where all the glory's at, right? If you hit the field goal, it's
yeah. So if you hit a game winner, or you hit a big time, field goal to put you up, you could make or break you, as they say.
So do you have, to prep for those moments, do you have some type of pre-kick ritual? I'm sure you warm your leg up or keep your leg warm, but is there anything you do like in your head or on the sidelines before you go in?
Really just trust what I can do. Like, don't try to do anything different than what I already know. Just like I said, get over the ball, kick it straight. There's no reason to mess with anything. So pre-rituals, not too big into those.
Yeah.
Personally, I think you train to be able to what you can do, and that's just kind of how I go about it.
So when you're in practice doing that training, what's something that you try to focus on each day? Do you focus on a different thing each day, or is it all on the same swing every day? Consistency?
Consistency would probably be the main thing for me. Just trying to constantly repeat the same swing over and over. So if I hit a good ball yesterday, go back. Kickers do look at film. So we go back, figure out what I did, and try to replicate that motion, each time.
When's the first time you think that you kicked a football do you remember it where it's like, oh, I got it. That's what I got to do?
I'd say it was my first game of junior year. We're playing an out-of-conference team for high school. And we get there, sun shining, it's great. Storm rolls through. Game's already started at 7:30. We don't kickoff, I think, was at 9. So we were on like a 2-hour delay. Didn't get canceled. And we choose to kick off first, and I go out there, and I kicked one through the uprights. And at that point, I was like, okay, like this is big. This can do stuff. Like, it was just a good moment.
Sure.
To be out there, especially through the delay. You were sitting. We get out there, first play of the game. A kicker puts one through the uprights in high school. You don't really see that too much. But that was kind of the moment, like, wow. So for me.
Cool. So you got the good feeling. What about when you do a kickoff and some guy makes a crazy return and it's coming your way? What's the feeling then?
Well, it's a lot different between, high school and now because obviously, like, the size is crazy. I'm not a big guy myself, but, I mean, you have, 6'2", 180 guys sprinting full speed at you. It can kind of get a little hectic, especially in my position. So, I personally I can see my help running to me, so if I can slow them down enough to get some more bodies in there and kind of need a breakdown and not necessarily just try to hit them full on, but stop them or slow them down enough to where help can come help.
Sure, makes sense. And what's something you think with punting or kicking, either one, that you think people don't – you said that it's a team thing, like it's a unit thing, and most people don't understand that. And you do watch film. Is there anything else between kicking and punting that you think people don't really understand watching it? Because I'm sure it's just like, oh, he missed or oh, he hit it.
I'd say there's a lot more that goes into it than just seeing the ball snap, held, and kicked. I mean, like I said, we practice, time. You have to be visually aware of the things going on around you while you are on the field. As a kicker, you're kind of like the last man in a lot of situations, so you can kind of see the play develop. So you do have to have like football knowledge of where you think people are going to go. If you see a hole open up, like you got to know where to be if they hit that. You're not just back there and then chase them. So like just because a lot of kickers do have like a soccer background, or they just say like they're soccer players who like adapted to be kickers, like say like we know the game or parts of the game like just as much for our position as others.
So if you get a tackle, there was actually a lot that went into you getting into that position.
Yeah, so like I said, I mean, just like if you're the last man on any play, like you see the play develop in front of you and you got to fit the hole.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a lot more than just kick it and stand and wait for them to come to you. So.
Yeah, that makes it. I'm sure they're not running at you.
No, probably not at you, but you gotta know where they're gonna be, and you, like I said, watching the play develop and knowing like who goes where and what situations you're in, it's just different.
So do you you said you're not really into pregame rituals and stuff, but do you have any type of like, what do you do before a game? Do you listen to music? Do you get just a bunch of kicks up? What's your
music is good. I like just get into like a comfortable mindset. I feel like with there being stress on your shoulders, if there's a big kick or something, like just being able to like relax, like take in like what we're doing here and just playing the game and just having fun is the biggest thing for me.
Okay. So what are your goals for this fall, both team and personal?
Team, I mean, obviously, Mountain Divisions. We need to go back there and claim that one once again, and then we need to push further. We've been close 2 years in a row, so finally putting a pin in that one would be fun. Team wise, personally, just become more consistent, be solid over the ball, and just be comfortable whenever they call my name to go in.
Yeah, it's got to be like nerve-wracking but also fun, because when they do call your name, it's like, all right, let's go do this thing. Yeah, let's go do this thing.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your major?
Business administration.
Awesome.
With a focus in HR.
Is that what you want to do afterwards?
Hopefully I plan to. Something business related, maybe finance, somewhere in that realm.
Well, there's never an ending to how many jobs there are in business. So
there's always jobs for business.
Cool. Is there any other plans that you have after graduation, like travel or anything like that?
As of right now, I'm not really sure. Just trying to get through it at this point. So
sure.
Still got one more year. Maybe grad school. I've been looking into it. Just to go ahead and get my master's in business to help me, later down the road.
Well, again, there's an endless amount of programs for business for masters. So,
there is.
Yeah.
So
we're just going to fire off some kind of random questions to help get to know you better.
All right.
All right. Go-to ice cream.
Ooh. Cookies and cream.
I felt like you were going to say cookies
Classic.
and cream. It's a classic. If I asked Lamboni the same thing, but if they're out of that flavor, is there another go-to, or do you just find a different store?
Mint chocolate chip would be my second one.
Okay.
A little out there, but
it's a good one though.
It's solid.
Also a classic, really.
It's there.
All right. Funniest movie, like, to you?
Probably anything with Adam Sandler in it, to be completely honest.
You like all the stuff like old all the way till now?
Old stuff, you know. Click is one of my top 5 for sure.
Laugh and cry in the
Laugh
same
and
movie.
cry in the same movie. Just all your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Place you most want to visit?
Ooh, probably Fiji.
Good one.
Yeah, I had a coach from Fiji, and he was just really cool, and like would always talk about like how beautiful it was, and I would just really want to go.
You get a free trip if you go on Survivor.
I can sign up. I think I do well.
I think why not? You got the mentality for it already.
Yeah, we'll just go for it.
Right, exactly. Do you have any hobbies outside of sports?
Being in the mountains, I mean, I guess golf would be a big one. That just popped. Golf, really enjoy playing golf.
Sure.
Fishing.
Okay.
Fishing's fun.
Freshwater or saltwater?
Fresh.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like coastal.
Yeah, there's not a lot of coastal.
It's not as fun. So, photography. I've been getting into some photography and graphic design, so that's been a fun little journey. But yeah, that's golf's a big one.
Yeah, that's a good one because you can play it pretty much forever.
Yeah.
As far as the photography goes, is there anything you have found that you like shooting so far?
Wildlife. Or we took a trip recently to New York. So like being in the city and taking some pictures in the city was really fun too.
What was your first impression of New York?
It was a little crazy. We stayed more on like the outskirts, so like the rural area. We weren't like staying in the city. But 1 or 2 days we went in to like downtown, and it was an experience. None the least. It's very different from anything you find around here.
Did you drive in or did you ride the train in?
We drove in.
Oh yeah, so you crossed the bridge and everything.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But like I said, a lot different from here.
Before going to New York? What, was like Atlanta the biggest city or something like that you'd been to? Because it's so different.
Yeah, Atlanta, Nashville.
Sure, yeah.
Being from Tennessee, even Charlotte. Is bigger, but no, it didn't compare to any of those three.
Yeah, but it lived up to the hype then.
Oh yeah, it's definitely when all the things you hear about New York, they're true.
All right,
so
fair
it
enough.
was fun.
What was the best food you had when you were up there?
The pizza was
Yeah,
great,
it's
or
unbelievable.
cheesecake. The
Also
cheesecake
good.
that's my favorite dessert of all time.
Okay.
So like I had to get some New York style cheesecake.
So just
for
like
sure.
plain, or do you have like
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Okay, sure. All right. Do you have any shout outs before we let you go, man?
The team, good
Sure.
luck to us this year, and hopefully we do good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this interview with the Marshall University football program. If you all enjoyed the content, make sure to like and subscribe for more.